For so long, society has painted a picture of women as if they are moved only by the flash of wealth or the sparkle of luxury. Men have been led to believe that the road to a woman's heart is paved with expensive gifts, big cars, or the size of their bank accounts. But what many fail to realize is that material wealth might catch a woman's attention for a moment, yet it rarely secures her devotion. What truly matters to her is not the balance of your finances, but the balance of your character. What makes her stay is not the number of things you can buy, but the safety of knowing she can trust you with her heart. Emotional security is the currency women value the most, even if the world keeps shouting otherwise. A woman's soul longs for peace more than diamonds, for comfort more than castles, for truth more than temporary thrills. And when she feels this sense of stability, no amount of money can compete with the bond it creates. Think about it. Why is it that so many women leave wealthy men who gave them everything material but nothing emotional? Why do we hear stories of women walking away from lavish lifestyles, choosing instead a simple man who made her feel seen, heard, and valued? It is because emotional security gives her something material possessions never can, a place to rest her spirit. A woman can admire your success, but if she constantly feels uncertain about your love, her admiration will turn to exhaustion. She may respect your hustle, but if she cannot rely on your presence, she will feel lonely even when you are beside her. The truth is, the heart of a woman is designed to thrive where there is consistency, honesty, and trust. You may win her attention with wealth, but you win her soul by offering her peace, and peace comes from stability, not money. When a woman speaks about wanting safety, many men assume she is talking about financial provision alone. They hear security and quickly think of providing a house, food, and comfort. While those things matter, they are not the foundation of what she truly desires. Safety for her goes beyond locks on the door or money in the bank. It is the reassurance that when she is vulnerable, you will not betray her. It is the guarantee that when she shares her fears, you will not dismiss them. It is the confidence that your words match your actions and that your promises are not empty. This kind of safety cannot be bought. It must be lived and embodied every single day. It is a safety that is felt in your tone, in your consistency, and in the way you treat her even when no one is watching. Men often underestimate the weight of emotional betrayal. To a man, forgetting to call might seem small, or dismissing her feelings might appear harmless. But to a woman, these moments accumulate into evidence that her heart is not secure with you. Emotional neglect is as painful to her as physical absence. When she feels unheard, unseen, or invalidated, it shakes her core sense of safety. This is why women crave partners who are not only physically present but emotionally engaged. A woman would rather sit in a modest apartment with a man who listens to her than in a mansion with a man who makes her feel invisible. Emotional security is built in the daily choice to show up, to be present, to reassure, and to make her feel valued in both words and actions. Women are incredibly intuitive, and they can sense when a man's presence is unstable. If your mood swings dictate how you treat her, she begins to feel unsafe. If your love is conditional, given today and withheld tomorrow, she starts building walls to protect herself. Emotional stability communicates to her that she can let her guard down without fear of rejection. It tells her that she can be her authentic self without the need for masks or constant performance. That is the kind of space in which intimacy flourishes because she no longer has to spend her energy questioning your intentions. Instead, she can invest her heart in building the relationship, knowing that her emotions will not be mishandled. That is the secret foundation of attraction that lasts. In a world that constantly pressures men to measure their worth in material achievements, it takes strength to realize that what a woman truly desires is something much simpler, yet far more Profound, she wants to feel that her emotions are safe with you. She wants to trust that when she is weak, you will not take advantage, and when she is strong, you will not feel threatened. This is the emotional security that speaks louder than any diamond ring. And it is this emotional grounding that makes a woman choose to build her life with a man, even when she could have chosen wealth elsewhere. Emotional security is not glamorous. It does not shine like gold, but it lasts longer than anything money can buy. This does not mean that financial provision is irrelevant. Women appreciate stability in all forms, including the physical and material. But the difference is this: money without emotional safety leaves her feeling empty, while emotional security can help her endure even when money is tight. She will stand by your side through struggles if she knows her heart is safe with you, but she will not stay in riches if her spirit feels neglected. This is why men who chase only external success often find themselves alone, because they invested in everything except the one thing that mattered most. A woman's deepest desire is not to be impressed, but to be understood, not to be entertained, but to be cherished. Every woman wants to know, "Can I trust you with my heart?" That is the silent question she carries in every relationship. It is behind her smiles, behind her questions, behind her quiet moments. If the answer is yes, you will see a woman open up in ways that will surprise you. Her love will flow freely, her loyalty will deepen, and her presence will enrich your life in ways money never could. But if the answer is no, then no amount of gifts, status, or effort will keep her soul invested. Emotional security is the hidden key to unlocking the best version of a woman's love. It is not the loudest desire, but it is the deepest. And when you give her this kind of peace, you give her something priceless. Confidence is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can possess, but sadly, many confuse it with arrogance. Confidence is quiet strength, the assurance that speaks without needing to shout. It is not the loudest voice in the room, nor the man who boasts of his achievement. It is the man who carries himself with certainty, even in silence. Arrogance, on the other hand, is insecurity dressed in noise, seeking validation from others to mask self-doubt. Women are naturally drawn to confidence because it feels like stability, it feels like safety, and it feels like trust. Arrogance pushes them away because it feels like ego, it feels like pride, and it feels like danger. A confident man does not need to dominate to be noticed. His presence speaks for him, and when a woman senses this balance, she finds it irresistible. To understand confidence, you must first understand self-respect. A man who respects himself naturally radiates a confidence that others can feel. He is not desperate for approval because he knows his worth, and he does not compromise his values just to be accepted. Women notice this immediately because it shows strength of character, which is far more attractive than any external appearance. Arrogance, however, is fragile. It crumbles when challenged because it is built on pride rather than self-assurance. Confidence is steady, grounded, and humble, while arrogance is shaky, defensive, and loud. Women can see the difference in how a man treats others, especially those who have nothing to offer him. The confident man uplifts while the arrogant man belittles, and no woman feels safe in the arms of someone who thrives on making others small. Women desire confidence because it reassures them that the man beside them can handle life without collapsing under pressure. It is not about how much money he makes, but how he carries himself when money is low. It is not about how many people admire him, but how he behaves when no one is watching. Confidence tells her that even in storms, you will not lose yourself. Arrogance tells her that in storms, you will only think of yourself. This distinction is what makes confidence so magnetic. It speaks of reliability and trustworthiness. Women look beyond appearances. They are constantly reading energy, tone, and presence. If you can hold your ground without needing to prove yourself, you send a message of strength. And strength without the need for intimidation is what wins her heart. Confidence also shows up in the way a man communicates. A confident man listens before he speaks because he does not fear silence. He chooses his words carefully, not to impress, but to express. Arrogant men, however, talk endlessly about themselves, trying to dominate conversations rather than connect. Women can tell when a man is truly interested in them, versus when he is using the moment to inflate his ego. The man who listens deeply, who pays attention, and who speaks with clarity demonstrates a confidence that cannot be faked. Women respect this because it shows not only self-assurance, but also emotional intelligence. Arrogance talks at people, while confidence talks with people. And the difference in how it feels is undeniable. A confident man does not feel the need to compare himself to others. He celebrates his progress without envy and respects the success of others without insecurity. Arrogance, however, thrives on comparison, always trying to one-up, always trying to prove superiority. Women feel drained around arrogance because it breeds competition where there should be harmony. Confidence, on the other hand, creates an atmosphere of ease. It tells her she can relax, that she is safe, that she does not have to play games to earn attention. In a world full of men who constantly feel the need to show off, the man who is quietly confident stands out effortlessly. His strength is felt, not forced. His presence lingers not because he demands it, but because it is genuine. Confidence is not only about how a man carries himself, but also about how he makes others feel. A truly confident man does not belittle people, he empowers them. He does not look for flaws to exploit, but looks for strengths to acknowledge. Women notice this deeply because how a man treats others is how he will eventually treat her. If he thrives on arrogance, she knows his love will come with condescension. If he thrives on confidence, she knows his love will come with respect. A man who knows his worth does not need to put others down, because he understands that greatness is not diminished by sharing space with others. That kind of strength is rare, and it is exactly what women crave. True confidence also allows a man to be vulnerable. Arrogance builds walls to hide weakness, but confidence embraces it with maturity. Women admire men who can admit mistakes, who can say, "I don't know," without feeling smaller. Vulnerability does not weaken a man in a woman's eyes. It strengthens him. It tells her that he is real, that he is authentic, that he is grounded enough to face the truth. Arrogance pretends to know everything, and that pretense creates distance. Confidence embraces learning, and that openness creates intimacy. Women feel drawn to this quality because it assures them that the relationship will grow, not stagnate. Vulnerability in a confident man becomes a bridge of connection, something arrogance can never achieve. Confidence is timeless, while arrogance fades quickly. A man may gain attention with arrogance, but he rarely keeps it, because arrogance drains the soul. Confidence, however, grows stronger with time. Women feel safe investing their hearts in confident men because they know that consistency will follow. Arrogance may excite for a moment, but confidence inspires for a lifetime. It is the quiet strength that makes her trust, the steady presence that makes her stay, the calm assurance that makes her love without fear. Confidence does not need an audience, it does not need applause. It simply exists, and that authenticity is what captivates her. This is why women crave confidence and reject arrogance. They are not the same, though many men confuse them. Confidence uplifts, arrogance diminishes. Confidence secures, arrogance destabilizes. Confidence is grounded in humility, arrogance in insecurity. Women are deeply intuitive, and they can sense this difference immediately. A man who leads with arrogance might attract her eyes for a moment, but a man who leads with confidence will attract her soul for a lifetime. And it is in that soul-level attraction that true desire is found, One of the deepest truths about attraction is that women are drawn to men who live with purpose. Purpose is not about wealth, popularity, or power. It is about direction. A man with purpose knows who he is, where he is going, and why he is going there. That kind of clarity radiates strength, and strength is magnetic. Women feel safe around men who are guided by vision because purpose communicates stability. It shows that you are not drifting through life aimlessly, waiting for others to tell you what to do. Instead, you are rooted in conviction, and that conviction creates trust. A man without purpose feels unstable, and instability makes a woman hesitant to invest her heart. She wants to walk beside someone who knows the path, not someone lost on the journey. Purpose gives a man presence that cannot be manufactured. When you know why you wake up in the morning, your energy changes and women feel that shift immediately. They can tell when a man is passionate about his mission, when his life has meaning beyond just impressing others. That kind of fire is inspiring, and it naturally makes a woman want to draw closer. She sees in him not just a man, but a leader, a partner, and someone who can weather storms with resilience. On the other hand, when a man has no purpose, his life feels empty, and emptiness is unattractive. A woman may enjoy his company for a while, but soon she realizes that without direction, there can be no future. Purpose is not about perfection, it is about progress. It is about living intentionally, and intention is what captivates her spirit. Women crave purpose, driven men because purpose communicates reliability. A man who knows where he is going does not get easily swayed by distractions, temptations, or pressure from others. He has a vision, and he stays aligned with it. That kind of consistency makes her feel safe to trust in him, because she knows his decisions are not based on impulse, but on intention. A man without purpose, however, is easily influenced, and that instability makes her doubt his ability to lead. Leadership is not about control, it is about guidance, and purpose is the foundation of guidance. When a man is anchored in purpose, he becomes like a lighthouse, steady even when the waves are crashing. A woman will always choose the light over the storm, the clarity over the confusion. Purpose also gives a man resilience, and resilience is one of the most attractive qualities to a woman. Life is filled with challenges, and a man without purpose crumbles when difficulties arise. But a man with purpose stands tall, even when everything around him seems to be falling apart. His vision gives him strength, his conviction gives him courage, and his direction gives him focus. Women admire this because it shows emotional stability. They know that if he can withstand life's pressures with dignity, he can also handle the challenges of a relationship with maturity. This is why purpose is so magnetic. It assures her that he will not quit when things get hard. He will persevere, and perseverance makes her trust him more deeply. Another reason purpose matters is because it reveals a man's priorities. A man without purpose chases pleasure, validation, or distractions because he has nothing grounding him. A man with purpose, however, knows when to say no, knows when to focus, and knows what truly matters. This self-discipline is incredibly attractive to women because it shows strength of character. It tells her that you are not controlled by the world, but that you control yourself. Women want to feel that the man they are with is not easily led astray, that he has principles guiding his choices. Purpose provides that framework. It creates clarity, and clarity creates security. And when a woman feels secure in a man's direction, she feels free to trust him fully. Purpose is not about being rich or famous. It is about being intentional. A teacher with purpose is more attractive than a millionaire with none, because the teacher's life has meaning. A man who lives for something greater than himself, whether it is his family, his craft, or his mission, becomes magnetic in a way material success never could. Women are drawn to men who are lit from within. men whose lives carry weight and depth. It is this depth that makes her feel safe, because she knows she is aligning herself with someone who is going somewhere meaningful. Without that, no amount of wealth or charm will keep her heart engaged. Purpose is the silent force that sustains attraction beyond the surface. Women long for men who are not just dreamers but doers. A dream without action is fantasy, but purpose with action becomes reality. She wants to see that your goals are not just words but commitments. This does not mean you must have everything figured out, but it means you are moving forward, step by step. Progress is attractive because it shows momentum, and momentum gives her confidence in the future. A stagnant man makes her anxious because she sees no direction, no growth, and no potential for stability. But a man who is purpose-driven inspires her to grow as well. Together, they can build, expand, and rise because his vision creates a shared journey. Purpose also sets boundaries, and boundaries create respect. A man who knows his mission does not allow himself to be distracted by meaningless pursuits. He is focused, and that focus commands admiration. Women find it deeply attractive when a man can stand firm in his decisions, when he can say no to things that do not align with his goals. It shows maturity, discipline, and clarity. Arrogant men often chase everything to prove their worth, but purposeful men only chase what aligns with their vision. This restraint communicates power. It shows her that your energy is not scattered but directed, and direction is what convinces her that you are worthy of her trust. When a man walks with purpose, his life becomes magnetic in ways he cannot even imagine. Women see in him not just a partner, but a leader, a builder, and a protector of vision. His direction gives her peace because she knows she is not walking blindly. His passion gives her excitement because she feels the fire of his mission. And his resilience gives her comfort because she knows he will not crumble under pressure. This is why purpose matters so deeply in attraction. It is the difference between a fleeting connection and a lasting bond. And when a man leads with purpose, he naturally draws women who are ready to build something meaningful alongside him. When a woman thinks about the kind of man she desires, she does not only look for strength, stability, or even ambition. She looks for understanding. Emotional intelligence is the silent quality that sets a man apart because it speaks to a woman's deepest need, the need to be seen and heard. It is not enough to provide or protect if you cannot also connect. A woman wants to feel that when she shares her heart, it will not fall on deaf ears. She wants to know that her emotions will not be minimized, ridiculed, or ignored. Emotional intelligence is not about knowing all the answers, but about being present enough to listen. It is about recognizing that love is not just physical, it is emotional, mental, and spiritual. A man who understands this touches a woman in ways that go beyond attraction. Women crave men who can read the unspoken. So often, she communicates through tone, through silence, through subtle changes in energy. An emotionally intelligent man pays attention to these small signals and responds with empathy. He does not dismiss her quietness as moodiness. He leans in and asks what she needs. This does not mean he becomes her savior or loses himself. It means he respects her feelings enough to notice them. Women feel valued when a man takes time to tune into their inner world because it shows that he cares not only about what she does but about how she feels. Emotional intelligence is the difference between arguing to win and listening to understand, and the man who listens to understand will always be more desirable. Emotional intelligence also requires self-awareness. A man cannot truly understand a woman's emotions if he is blind to his own. A woman is drawn to men who can name their feelings, manage their emotions, and express them without aggression or suppression. When a man is in touch with himself, he does not project his frustrations onto her, nor does he shut down in silence. Instead, he communicates with honesty and calmness, creating space for resolution rather than conflict. Women admire this because it shows strength, not weakness. Emotional intelligence is not about being overly sensitive, it is about being responsible with your emotions. And when a woman sees this maturity, she feels safe opening up her own heart. Too many men believe that showing empathy makes them appear weak, but the truth is that empathy is one of the greatest displays of strength. It takes courage to step outside of yourself and feel with another person. Women long for men who can empathize with their struggles, not because they need solutions, but because they need connection. A woman may not always want you to fix her problem, but she wants to know you care enough to sit with her through it. She desires a partner who does not dismiss her pain with logic, but acknowledges it with compassion. Emotional intelligence makes a woman feel less alone in her battles, and that shared experience deepens intimacy. It is not grand gestures that win her heart, but the simple act of being present and empathetic. Emotional intelligence also shapes how a man handles conflict. Every relationship will have disagreements, but what determines longevity is how those conflicts are managed. A man with low emotional awareness escalates fights, shuts down, or lashes out. But a man with emotional intelligence stays calm, seeks understanding, and chooses peace over pride. Women crave this because it assures them that love is not fragile, that it can withstand tension without breaking. Conflict does not scare her if she knows it will be handled with respect and care. What scares her is instability, anger, and disregard for her feelings. Emotional intelligence teaches a man to fight for the relationship, not against the partner, and that makes all the difference in how safe a woman feels with him. Women are deeply drawn to men who validate their emotions. Validation does not mean agreeing with everything she feels. It means acknowledging her right to feel it. An emotionally intelligent man does not tell her she is overreacting or too sensitive. Instead, he says, "I understand why you feel that way," or "I hear you." These simple words carry immense power because they assure her that her emotions matter. Validation builds trust, and trust builds intimacy. Without validation, a woman begins to close off because she feels unseen, but with it, she flourishes, opening herself to deeper levels of love and connection. Emotional intelligence creates this safe container where both partners can be vulnerable without fear of rejection. The beauty of emotional intelligence is that it turns ordinary moments into extraordinary connections. It is in the way a man notices she is tired and offers to help without being asked. It is in the way he remembers small details she mentioned in passing. It is in the way he senses when she needs silence instead of advice. These small acts create a sense of being deeply understood, and women find that kind of understanding irresistible. Emotional intelligence does not require wealth, status, or charm. It requires attention. It requires care. It requires the humility to realize that love is not just about what you say, but about how you make her feel in every interaction. Another layer of emotional intelligence is adaptability. Life changes, moods shift, seasons evolve, and a woman desires a partner who can flow with these changes without resistance. An emotionally intelligent man does not panic when things do not go as planned. He adjusts, reassures, and moves forward with grace. This flexibility makes her feel safe because she knows she does not have to carry the weight of life alone. Women admire men who can adapt without losing themselves, who can comfort without collapsing, who can lead without controlling. This adaptability is a sign of emotional maturity, and it is one of the most powerful attractions. It shows her that no matter what life throws their way, he will be steady. At the core of emotional intelligence is respect for her emotions, for her individuality, and for the shared bond between you. Women crave this respect because it assures them that they are valued not just for their beauty or presence, but for their inner world. A man who respects her emotions is telling her, "I see you, I honor you, I accept you, that kind of message is priceless. It turns love into partnership, attraction into devotion, and intimacy into something sacred. Emotional intelligence is not flashy, it is not loud, but it is enduring. It is the glue that holds relationships together when everything else fades. And when a man masters it, he unlocks a woman's deepest trust, affection, and desire. When you strip away the noise of attraction, the games of dating, and the illusions of desire, what women want most is respect. Respect is the foundation upon which everything else rests. Without it, love feels shallow, connection feels forced, and intimacy feels unsafe. A woman does not only want to be desired for her body, she wants to be valued for her mind, her opinions, her dreams, and her individuality. Respect tells her that you see her not as an object, but as a whole human being with dignity. It is respect that makes her trust you, and it is respect that makes her stay. When a woman senses true respect, she opens herself in ways that passion alone can never unlock. Respect creates a space where love can grow without fear. Respect is demonstrated in the smallest of actions. It is in the way you listen when she speaks without interrupting. It is in the way you value her boundaries instead of trying to push past them. It is in the way you treat her when she is not around, when others may be watching or testing your loyalty. Women notice these things because respect is not about what you say. It is about what you consistently do. A man may shower her with gifts or compliments, but if he disrespects her in private or belittles her in arguments, she will feel unloved. True respect is steady, quiet, and unshakable. It is what convinces her that she is safe to build with you. Respect also means honoring her boundaries. Every woman has limits, lines she does not want crossed, spaces she needs to protect. A man who respects those boundaries shows maturity and self-control. He does not force, pressure, or manipulate. He allows her to give freely when she is ready. This kind of respect builds trust, because she knows you will not take advantage of her vulnerability. On the other hand, when a man ignores or dismisses her boundaries, she feels unsafe and begins to pull away. Women desire men who can respect the word no as much as they celebrate the word yes. It is this ability to honor her choices that makes her want to give you more of herself willingly. Respect is also revealed in the way you handle disagreements. Conflict is inevitable, but disrespect is a choice. A woman pays close attention to how a man speaks to her when he is angry, because those words leave lasting impressions. If you insult, belittle, or demean her, you break the very foundation of trust. But if you can disagree with her respectfully, maintaining composure even in heated moments, you show her that love is bigger than ego. Respect in conflict tells her that her dignity matters more to you than being right, and that makes her feel deeply valued. A man who can fight with respect is a man who earns a woman's loyalty. Another dimension of respect is valuing her individuality. A woman does not want to be molded into someone else's ideal version. She wants to be accepted for who she truly is. Respect celebrates her uniqueness, her passions, her ambitions, and her flaws. It says, "I love you as you are, not as I imagine you should be." When a man allows a woman to grow, to shine, and to express herself freely, she feels cherished. But when he tries to control, limit, or diminish her, she feels trapped. Women desire men who see their strength as something to admire, not something to fear. Respecting her individuality is what makes her trust that your love is authentic. Respect is not only about her, it is also about how you carry yourself. A man who respects himself sets the standard for how he treats others. Women, notice if you honor your own values, if you discipline yourself, if you treat your body and mind with care. Self-respect communicates that you are not desperate, not easily swayed, and not willing to compromise your dignity. And when a man respects himself, it is natural for him to respect the woman he loves. Self-respect and respect for others go hand in hand. Women are drawn to men who value themselves enough to also value their partners. It is this alignment that creates balance and harmony in a relationship. Respect also shows up in consistency. A woman does not want a man who respects her only when he wants something from her. She desires respect that is steady, not conditional. If you honor her today but dismiss her tomorrow, she feels used. True respect is consistent, even when you are upset, even when you are tired, even when no one is watching. Consistency is what convinces her that your respect is genuine. It shows that you do not just perform kindness, but you live it. And a man who consistently respects a woman creates a bond that is nearly unbreakable. She will give her heart fully to someone she knows will not abuse it. Respect is the invisible thread that strengthens intimacy. Physical attraction may spark desire, but without respect, desire fades. Women want to know that their vulnerability will not be exploited, that their bodies will not be objectified, that their love will not be taken for granted. Respect makes physical intimacy meaningful because it is rooted in dignity. When a woman feels respected, she gives more, loves more, and trusts more. But when she feels disrespected, she withdraws, no matter how strong the attraction once was. Respect deepens love beyond the physical, creating intimacy that is emotional, spiritual, and lasting. At its core, respect is love in action. It is the daily choice to treat her with honor, even when you do not agree, even when you are tired, even when life feels heavy. Respect says, "You matter, and I will not treat you carelessly." Women crave this because it assures them that they are safe, cherished, and valued. Without respect, everything else becomes fragile. With respect, love becomes unshakable. It is the essence of what women truly desire, not wealth, not status, not fleeting charm, but the quiet, steady power of being respected every single day.